Oh my goodness, look how gorgeous that is. I want this to really focus on. Look how pretty. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I am so excited for this video because we're doing a full face of new makeup and I'm so excited. We have some good products here today and I have found what I think is a replacement for what my favorite blush was, my favorite powder blush was that was discontinued and the company went under. So I'm so excited to share the product finds with you guys and what I think. I would love to know down below, what other new product launches are you excited for? I'm testing the new Amicole foundation stick. I also just got in the Kosas, their like BB kind of cream style product, and I'm testing a bunch of other things, but I would love to know down below, what are you excited about or for sure want me to test out? Let me know down below. And yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this full face of new makeup. Okay, brought you in closer. Let's get into this new makeup video. Actually, first, let's talk about this hitchhiker on my face. I got bit in my sleep by some type of bug. My mom thinks it's a spider bite, but either way, go away. This is disrespectful, but it's basically gone now. I got it days ago. It was so gross and just inflamed and irritated when it first happened, and now it's on its last legs of being on my face, but she's rude and ready for her to leave. Anyways, let's get into the makeup. So first, we have a new complexion product. This is from About Face. I ordered 2 shades of this because I was really unsure which one to go with. So I got the shade, oh my gosh, the bottom of this, every time I try and read the shade, is reflective. It makes it so hard to actually read what it is. This is M2 Neutral. And then this one here, which is the darker shade, this one is MD2 Neutral. And I figured I could mix them together if needed or whatever. So I'm going to swatch these for you guys. And the applicator is massive. I don't love applying foundation or anything directly to my face with an applicator like this. So I usually just apply it to the back of my hand like I do most foundations, as opposed to just putting it on my face. I just feel like that is a way to get more acne than is necessary or needed. So here we are. So we have, again, this is MD2 Neutral, and then this is M2 Neutral. And I feel like the MD2 Neutral is pulling a little bit warm. When I applied to my face, it's definitely way too warm for me right now, because I tried them separate, then I've tried them mixing them together. I like mixing them together, but I feel like M2 Neutral right now, because I'm very pale, is going to be a good match. And if I need a little bit of the MD2 Neutral, we'll apply that. So I'm going to take this on the back of my hand, and there's a lot of ways that you can apply this and they all kind of work. I prefer fingers or the way I've been liking to apply my foundation, which is just taking a fluffy brush, and I put this much on the back of my hand so you can see, and just kind of get it into the brush and then applying it. I've been liking how it makes my makeup look. I have a mirror right in front of me here, and I'm just going to apply. And I feel like, well, that's a pretty good match for right now, even though it's definitely not going to match the rest of my body because my body is a lot more tan than my face, because I don't really let my face get any sun. And I wear sunscreen all the time, but I'll put bronzer on to kind of make it match my body. All right, happy with how that blended. What do you guys think? A, of the shade match, but also B, in general, how it looks on the face. I really like the finish of this. I don't find it to be super like drying or super dewy. It's kind of a really nice, very lightweight feeling product that feels like the finish is a little bit more on the natural side, which I really enjoy. I am going to apply it under my eyes just so we can see the coverage. I did apply a touch under with the brush, but I'm going to apply a little bit under my eyes just so we can see of that same shade, just because why not? I do like how it kind of applies under the eyes. I find this to be more of a medium coverage, but I feel like it's a buildable medium. It doesn't apply medium right away. I think it's kind of versatile in the sense that if you want less coverage, you can definitely get that. So what I like to do for this under my eyes is what I like to do with most not foundations, girl, if I don't get it together. Most concealers, I like to let it sit for a second because the consistency isn't super liquidy, but it is a little bit more liquidy and a little bit thinner, which is nice for on the face, just because it doesn't really look like, when I get close to a mirror, it doesn't really look like I'm wearing anything on the face. But I like to let this kind of marinate for a second. So for like a minute or two, we'll do a minute today, and then I like to blend it out with my fingers, and I feel like that always ends up looking really nice. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait for a minute, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna blend her out. Okay, let it sit for a minute. Now we're gonna blend it out, and I'm just gonna take my finger and blend it out with my finger. Okay, we are blended. What do you think of the coverage? I feel like it did a pretty good job. It is definitely not like full coverage. It is more of a medium coverage, like I said. And what I will say is this formula doesn't cling to texture in the sense of like acne texture or bug bite texture. It doesn't cling to acne that I've had around my face since I've been testing this out. I've had a good amount of breakouts just from existing in life, and it hasn't clung to those. But what I have noticed, it does cling to true like eczema dryness or true heavy dryness. So that is just something to be aware of. It doesn't necessarily cling to texture or like acne style, bug bite style dryness that you get, but it does cling to the more intense type of dryness. So that's just something to be aware of, but I do like the way that this wears throughout the day, and I don't feel like by the end of the day I'm feeling dewy or overly greasy or anything like that. It performs really well. It sits really nicely on the skin throughout the day, and the wear off is really nice, so it doesn't wear off patchy. I don't know, I'm actually a really big fan of this, and for the price, I feel like this is a really nice foundation. And I like how the component, I like that you can kind of put it on the back of your hand. I like that it's definitely one that you can wear under your eyes and it's not going to irritate under your eyes. I don't know, I'm a really big fan. And I think if you have dry under eyes or like more greasy under eyes, it doesn't make it worse on either side. Like it works well with both of those under eye styles. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on with a little bit of bronzer. I'm just going to go on with this one from Rose Inc. We're going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. This is the shade Seychelles, and I'm going to take this brush here. This is Heavenly Luxe number 7 from IT Cosmetics, and I'm just going to look at the mirror down here and just lightly apply. I don't want it to be like too bronzed today, but I do want there to be some warmth and dimension to my face. Okay, we are all bronzed. I just love that bronzer, and it's not too intense, but it gives such a beautiful bronze, but very, very natural, which is what I like. Next, we're moving on to blush, and I actually got 2 of the new Say Beauty blushes, and I also have one other blush we're gonna layer on top, but these are 2 of the new Say Beauty blushes. I would have gotten the third one, but I felt like on my complexion it would have been way too light. But so I got both shades. I think that one's called Cutie. Yes, this one's Cutie, and this one I believe is Sweetie. I feel like lately reading names on labels has been a chore for me. This is Sweetie. These are both really beautiful shades. I've been loving them both. So this is Cutie, and they are going to be in spring a very beautiful shade. Both of them shades, I should say. So this one here is Sweetie, and then this one here is Cutie, and they're just so pretty. I love the way that they blend out, and even though when I first saw Sweetie, I was like, okay, she's gonna look gray on me. Actually, it doesn't. It is a very nice shade on me, and it is the perfect, very pretty, a little bit of warmth to its spring cheek vibe, where it isn't too cool in tone, where you just want a little bit more life to your cheeks. These are beautiful. So I think I'm actually gonna go on with the shade Cutie, because that one is just, I love this type of shade in general. So I like to put these on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take a blush brush. So this one I have been loving. I'm going to spread it out a little bit so it's not too, you know, I don't want to get too much on the brush, and dip it in. I love this brush because it's slanted, it's fluffy, but it isn't too big because I do have a really small head and sometimes it can get a little crazy. And I'm just gonna apply starting here. Look how beautiful that is. I'm dying. I just love this blush shade because it is so pretty, it's natural, it isn't too pink. I feel like for a lot of people that are my complexion or a little bit more olive in tone and darker, sometimes stuff can be a little too pink for every day depending on the pink, and this shade here specifically, which is Cutie, the one I applied, is just so good for an everyday shade, but also an everyday year-round shade, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm obsessed with these. They are so good. And you know, hey, well, maybe you don't know, I have always loved the Say Beauty blushes. I have a whole dedicated video to the blushes from years ago, and I'm so happy they keep expanding the shade range because they just know what they're doing over there. So good. So then next what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let the blush sit for a second before I go on top of it with the powder blush that I want to set it with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the eyes really quick. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the bronzer that I have been wearing on my cheeks, I am wearing on my cheeks, and I'm going to apply it with my finger. Then I'm going to just take a clean brush and just go around the edge to make sure it kind of isn't too, it like diffuses up a little bit. And I'm going to take just a small brush and I'm going to take that same bronzer shade and put it on my lower lash line. So just dip in a little bit, not a lot of product, and just pull it on my lower lash line. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take what's ever left on this brush here, which is the blush brush, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take whatever is left and just put it through the crease. Then we're taking some setting powder. This is the Amicole. Oh, that just fluffed everywhere. Am I kidding? We're taking some Amicole setting powder, and I'm just going to dip in. I'm not going to take too much on the brush, and I'm going to kind of really get a lot of, like, I'm really going to get the product into the brush, and I'm going to then set my face. Now we're going to go on with this product here. This is from Nude Sticks. I was really excited to start trying this out. This is their matte eye color. I think that's what it's called. Magnetic matte eye color. And this is in the shade, I want to say it's Cocoa. Okay, first of all, the writing is in black on a super dark brown color. No one can read that. And, oh wait, at this angle I can, Cocoa. And I'm just going to apply it to my lid very roughly. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then from that, I'm going to just blend the product kind of out and up. I love this product because it blends out so nicely, but if I need it to be like a lot more pigmented, I can do that. I just didn't want it to be too pigmented today. The color, it's, oh my gosh, it's so creamy and beautiful, and just look how gorgeous that is. I just love it. And again, when you blend it, it blends out so nicely. Doesn't take, okay, if I was paying attention to where I was rubbing, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to blend it. As you can see, it just kind of blends out really nicely, and it's really, really creamy when you apply it. And the great thing about these is that they come with a sharpener, and it's just, I don't know, it all works so well together. I'm a really big fan, and I'm definitely going to grab another shade because I really have been enjoying this. And then once it sets down, it doesn't move. This will be on my hand like all day, but that's okay. I am a really big fan of the way that it wears on the eyes, and especially in summertime where I want maybe a little bit of smoke, but I don't want it to be too intense. I get to easily blend it with my fingers or a brush, whatever you prefer. It blends beautifully both ways, and I just know it locks in and it doesn't really move, and I don't need to set it with a powder. All right, next we are moving back to the cheeks to do some powder blush. So the powder blush we're using today is from the brand Jane Iredale or Iredale. I think it's Iredale. And I got the shade in this blush called Sheer Honey, and I saw the name saw kind of the shade and I got really excited because I am looking for a alternative to the Becca, R.I.P. Becca, the Becca Cosmetics blush in the shade Wild Honey, which I have here. And what I will say is this is a pretty good alternative. It's not a perfect dupe, but this is the blush from, I know this looks so lackluster. You're like, girl, what? But it's so pretty. I love this blush. And this blush is one that I feel like no matter the occasion, it works really well, especially if you're my complexion. But just in general, it's so pretty. And I know it looks really boring, but I swear it isn't. Put it on the back of my hand so you can see. It actually, and look how pretty that is. It's very a neutral blush, but it does give a flush. Anyway, so I saw this, and again, it's called Sheer Honey. And although it's not a perfect dupe, it is so similar, and I'm so happy because, again, once it's blended out on the cheeks, although this looks darker, it doesn't look a lot darker on the cheeks. I've worn them side by side on days, and you cannot really tell at all. And then this one here is the Jane Iredale one. I mean, look at that. That's pretty good. I don't know. I was excited. And when you put it on the cheeks, you really can't tell a difference. So today we're going on with Sheer Honey, which is just gorge. And I'm going to take this fluffy brush and I'm going to just dip in. I've been loving wearing this on days where I really just want a neutral blushy cheek. Look how absolutely gorge that is. Excuse me. I'm not going to dip back in because I definitely have plenty of product on this brush. I just love this blush color. It is so gorgeous, and this powder is so nice. I don't find it too mattifying, but it is mattifying enough where I feel like it's really holding in place, but you can see the sheen is still popping through from the blush I was wearing prior to. It really locks everything in. The formula is gorgeous, and if you're looking for an alternative, and honestly, to me, basically a dupe to the Wild Honey from Becca, and this is a great one. So this is Sheer Honey. She's just so good. I love like a really neutral, like toned blush that it doesn't do too much, but it gives you a really nice pop of color without it overwhelming. This love. So now we're going to move on to a highlighter, and this one is from Rituel De Fille, and this is their highlight intensifier. This is the shade The Alchemist, and this, look how pretty. Look how pretty. It's just so gorgeous. So we're going to do a little swatchy poo. It is a creamy product. Oh my goodness, look how gorgeous that is. I want this to really focus on. Look how pretty. I just love it. Now, this definitely isn't going to be a highlight shade specifically that will be for everyone, but I actually do really enjoy it. I surprised myself with enjoying it as much as I did. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know why I wiped that off the back of my hand because I need to reapply it, but that's okay. And I'm going to, again, apply a little bit to the back of my hand. I don't like to apply this directly from the pot to the top of my cheekbones just because I feel like this is a really intense highlight. So I like to work with it really, really slowly, but it's so pretty, and it's definitely going to be for people that like a little bit more of a intense highlight in the glitter. Not that it's super, super glittery and chunky, but it is more of an intense glitter highlight than just a shimmer, if that makes sense. And it is a very nice formula, and you just really need to, a very light, I mean, look how gorgeous, a really light finger, just tap it in without it being too, you don't want it to be a really, like, what am I trying to say? I don't want to push too hard on it when I apply it to the tops of my cheeks, because when I do that, at times, not always, when I press too strongly, tensely on my cheeks, I feel like sometimes with certain blushes, it can pick up a little bit of the product, just like kind of most, I would say, cream highlights. So just a light touch. And I mean, look how gorgeous that is. It is just so pretty. And I like to just like slowly build it up as opposed to doing it too much at once, because it is a little bit more of an intenser glitter than I am used to. So I don't want it like to get stuck with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit right here, just a little on the inner corner of my eye. And then I'm going to take whatever is left on the back of my hand right here, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle. I just really like that highlighter, and I feel like it is so beautiful. And I feel like people who like to go to festivals and stuff like that would really enjoy this if you like the festival style look, but you don't like it to be quite as intense. Sometimes that's a little bit more heavy on the glitter and all of that, but I feel like this still does kind of have that vibe without it being too intense, which I really, really enjoy. And it's great on the lid. It gives like a nice sheen. But again, it is not overly intense for every day, which I really enjoy. Anyways, I digress. Next, we're going to move on to mascara. And I'm just going to use this mascara today. This is the newer Westman Atelier one. I love this mascara. It is so good. I'm actually not going to curl my lashes today. I'm feeling like a little bit more of a subtle curl in the lash. All right, mascara is on. I love this mascara. I did a review, I believe, the video before this, or maybe a couple videos before. I can't really remember because my memory is just not working today. But this is a really good mascara. I don't have to worry about running under my eyes when I put it on my bottom lashes. I don't know. This is just so good, and I love the way that it makes my lashes look. I did get a little bit of mascara just around my face, so I'm going to wait for it to dry and then spoolie it off. But next, we're moving on to lips, and we're talking about the Summer Fridays lip oil. Now, I got the shade Rosewood Night, so I got the darkest color. I'm going to try this on without a lip liner and then with a lip liner just so you can see. I was skeptical of this because, I don't know, I feel like I'm picky with lip oils. So this is Rosewood Nights without a lip liner or anything like that. Pretty. It adds a nice little tone to it. Now I'm going to apply it with a lip liner. I'm going to use this lip liner from Jones Road Beauty. This is the shade Cognac. And I'm going to just apply the lip liner on the outer edge of my lips and then do the lip oil. All right, lip liner's on. Now we're going to apply the Summer Fridays lip oil again with the lip liner on, just because I feel like it adds a little bit more zhuzh when you apply it with a lip liner. I just love this type of lip combo because you have like a brown nude lip liner, then you have kind of a brown nude lip oil or lip balm or something that's super hydrating, and I just feel like it looks elite. I mean, what do you guys think of the lip combo? Have you guys tried this lip oil? I'd love to know what you think. So I feel like this will work for certain people and not so much others. And the reason I'm saying that is a beautiful product. I find it super hydrating. I just don't think the longevity is necessarily there. Now, I don't mind reapplying because lip oils in general and lip products in general, especially if they're more on the glossy side, they're just not going to last as long. And I mean, that just is across the board. Now, this formula isn't the thinnest formula I've ever used. I actually anticipated it being thinner than it is. So that's definitely was surprising to me that it was still thicker than I thought, but it's thinner than the lip oils I have that last super long. So that's just something that you have to be aware of. However, I do find it hydrating. It has like a light tingle to the lips, which I do enjoy, but it's not like plumping or anything, or at least not plump in my lips. Lips are always looking the same when I wear this, but I really like how it kind of glides over the dryness that I'm just perpetually having for the rest of my life. Just always the driest lips. It doesn't cling to it, and the color doesn't cling, so it doesn't look patchy, which I really enjoy. I don't know. I am a really big fan of this. However, again, it's not going to necessarily work for everyone if you want something that's super, super long wearing. However, for a glossy product, unless it's a super thick glossy product or on the thicker side, the longevity just isn't going to be there regardless of the product, just because, I mean, we eat, we drink, and stuff comes off on glasses and all of that. But if I'm not really eating and drinking and doing a ton of stuff with my mouth, which I hate that, but if I'm just kind of existing, I do feel like it lasts a decent amount. However, again, it's not the longest lasting product, but I do enjoy it, and the color is beautiful. And this is, if you are my complexion and you're looking for something that isn't necessarily super pink, because I find a lot of lip oils, unless they're like the more Micole or the Rowan Beauty liquid lip balms, they do tend to skew just super, super pink. And this is a really pretty color. So if you're interested in this and you want to know what shade, I definitely feel like Rosewood Nights, or is this Rosewood Nights? Did I just make that up? No, Rosewood Nights. Killed it. Is really good. And yeah, that's it. That's it for my full face of new makeup. What do you guys think? I really like how this makeup look came out. I love all these products. If I had to pick my standout favorite product, I think it would have to actually be the powder blush, just because I find it hard to find powder blushes in the shades that I like, and this just happens to be one that would be a staple. So this by far is my favorite find that I've been testing out for a while now, and I'm a really big fan. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.